What's good? Fly Free Sports UFC Noche recap. Rough. Man, rough. On the prediction side, on my preview video, I made the fight predictions and all that. I started off pretty good, man, and then it just went downhill for me, man, the last couple fights. But anyway, let's get into it, man. A little recap of the night of UFC Noche. Man, first and foremost, that venue, I don't understand. I don't know how the UFC is gonna have fight cards in regular arenas now. That shit was crazy. Like this the optics, bro, the graphics, the presentation, the production. Amazing, man. I know that shit costs millions of dollars to pull off. I heard Dana White referring to that on the at the press conference, at the post fight press conference. But just a spectacular evening, man, from a visual standpoint. I know the fans had some interactive things at the seats and all that stuff, like at the Sphere. The Sphere is crazy. Like, God damn, like it's gonna be tough, like I said, for them to follow that up, man, with the next card. It's in Utah. Like you go from the Sphere in Vegas to Utah. Oh, cool. You know what I mean? All right. But anyway, man, that shit was dope. But anyway, on to the fights. Ronaldo Rodriguez and Daniel uh and I'm sorry, Ronaldo Rodriguez and Uday Osborne. Uday Osborne started off hot. First round, like he almost had Rodriguez out of there. And I referred to their pre-fight press conference where Rodriguez was going off on Osborne in Spanish and shit. Hilarious. So that kind of like boosted the fight. And then when the fight came, it did not disappoint at all. Like it didn't disappoint. Uday, like I said, Uday started fast, had a knockdown, jumped on him, tried to sub him. Rodriguez ends up getting out of it. So Rodriguez dropped the first round, but the rest of the fight, he pretty much dominated it, man. Like it was just one of them things. Like one, and I called it too. Like I said, once he got out of that sub attempt, I knew he was gonna win. He got rocked too. Like he got rocked. He got hit hard. Like at the beginning of the fight. Like the first 2 minutes of the fight was a disaster for Rodriguez. Like, but like I said, man, just that resolve. Like he came out second round, third round, fully prepared, man, and got the job done. Got a good unanimous decision out of that. So yeah, I picked that fight correctly. Ronaldo Rodriguez pulled off the dub. Estevan Ribovic and Daniel Zellhuber. Probably the fight. Another time I was right. Like I said, this has fight of the night potential, and it probably was the fight of the night. One of the best fights you'll ever see, back and forth. Both guys landing big shots, stumbling each other, like close to finishing. Like the fact that fight went to a decision is crazy. Like that was a war. That was a straight up war, man. And I picked the right person again. Esteban Ribovic pulled the win off. Zellhuber was game, but it just wasn't his night. Diego Lopez and Brian Ortega. And now I'm just now realizing, now looking at the card, that all the fights on the main card were decisions. Like the prelims had some bangers. I'm not gonna lie. Like the prelims might have been better than the main card, even though we did have three very, very entertaining fights on the main card. Um Diego Lopez dropped Brian Ortega early. Here's another one. Hit him with a nice 1-2. Um Dropped him. Ortega, of course, the savvy vet. He gonna fight through it. He got a chin. But he was. This was one of those fights where Ortega was never really in the fight. The hand speed, the difference in hand speed and just overall speed was very clear. Diego Lopez was on a different level from Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega, like I said, a veteran. Much respect to him, but at this stage of the game, I think Diego Lopez is just too much. He's just too much, man. He was just too much. It was bad. Um, So shout out to Diego Lopez. And like I said in the preview video, Diego Lopez is that next guy in the featherweight division. He's up there with Max, Ilya, Volk. Like he's the fourth guy in that in at featherweight. So it's gonna be interesting to see who they give him next because you almost feel like it has to be one of those guys. I know Volk wants Volk wants the rematch when he comes back, so he'll probably get that just off the muscle. You know what I mean? I think Dana White is gonna give him that. He gonna get that rematch off the muscle. If Ilya wins, you know what I mean. But that's if Ilya beats Max. But I think probably the loser. He'll probably fight the loser of the Ilya and Max fight, and that'd be so entertaining. Diego Lopez versus Max Holloway would be crazy. That would be a crazy fight. So I think the featherweight division is heating up, man, with the emergence of Diego Lopez. You know, you got the vet Volt still there. You got, like I said, Max. Max is always a problem. Max has been in the top 3 in that division for like what feels like 5 years. It might be, but yeah, Diego Lopez, man. Shout out to Diego Lopez. He, like I said, he been on a tear and just Xing out the competition, man. Hand speed, crazy ground game. He's a complete package as a fighter, man. So we'll see what the next move is. I'm excited to see what's next for Diego Lopez for sure, man. He's impressive every time. Every time out, he's impressive. Co-main event: Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso, the third matchup between these two. And Valentina came out looking like old Valentina. I said in my preview that I wanted to see a virtuoso from Valentina, and we got that. She dominated the entire fight. Grasso did not win a round. She was dominated on the ground. Valentina got the better of the striking exchanges. I mean, there was nothing Grasso could do, man. And I was shocked because I was, like I said, I was of the belief that Valentina couldn't figure out Grasso and figure out how to get over the hump, but I was wrong, man. But I was right too because I wanted her to win. Like I said, I wanted Valentina to win. I wanted to see her become champion again. Like I said, she's one of the best female MMA fighters of all time, top 5, dead or alive. And that's just off one LP. Valentina Shevchenko, shout out to you. You got the job done. Yeah, man. Let's get to the main event, man. I know y'all want to hear me talk about the main event, but shit. Sean O'Malley versus Marab the Machine, Dwalishvili, and niggas found out. I didn't find out. I already knew. I knew Marab was a mistake. His name is his name for a reason. You know, cardio. It was the same Marab that he always is. Like the same exact Marab. He didn't deviate from the plan. He was just a little bit more. He was just a little bit more cautious with his shots. He didn't shoot nearly as much as he normally does, but I think that was by design because he didn't want to get caught with anything big. So he fought very smart and he picked his shots very, very wisely when he did shoot. Whenever he shot for a takedown, it was perfect. Like it was perfectly timed, and I think like 50% of the time he took him down. He took Suge down. So yeah, it's tough, man, because Marab is one of those guys where he makes it a grinded out fight. Like you're gonna have to go through that when you fight Marab. It's just no way around it. He's gonna make you try to defend all the takedowns, all the wrestling. He's gonna use all his strength, strong dude, probably the strongest guy in the division. He's gonna make you defend a lot of things. He's gonna give you a lot to look out for. And I think that's like the biggest thing that I noticed from the fight. I think Suge was very reluctant to throw the things that he wanted to throw by fear of the takedown. I think he knew if he threw certain things that he normally throws, he would end up on his back for the rest of the round. So his output wasn't nearly as high as it normally is. So if you look at the stats, I'm sure Marab outlanded him because Suge didn't throw a lot. He was more so like he normally does, staying on the outside, trying to make Merab make a mistake. Merab never made a mistake. He not one time did he make a mistake. Um, no overexerting himself. He stayed in the he played the range game perfectly with Sean because he knew at a certain point of this round I could take him down and I could just win rounds like that. But having said that, though, I think Suge did some good things in the fight, though. He won the third round and he won the fifth round. Now, if anybody rewatches the fight, he clearly won the third round and the fifth round. So I saw some people say, "Oh, how could it be 48-47? Merab dominated the entire fight." That's not true. But what is true is the rounds that Merab won, in particular the second round, he dominated the rounds he won. Like Suge might have like edged the third and the fifth, but the first, second, and fourth, especially the second, Merab imposed his will, bro. Like that's what made it look like this motherfucker's dominating the entire fight. I heard some people saying 5-0. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. That didn't happen. But the rounds he did win, it was very, very significant. Like it showed the gap in the grappling. It just showed. It just showed, man. So I can't hate on Merab. He's obviously not gonna completely play Sean O'Malley's game. That would be stupid. He'll knock anybody out in the world at 135, and Merab is conscious of that. I mean, he's aware. He probably watches so much film on these guys, and these guys are some of the best coaches in MMA. Ray Longo, yeah, man. So he executed the plan to perfection. That's what happened, man. I just wish, man, in that fifth round, and I know Merab got hurt so bad in that fifth round with that teep kick. And y'all remember when I did the fight preview, I said this was what I thought was going to happen and what should have happened, and then I was proven right that it should have happened. Suge landed a teep kick in the fifth round to the midsection, and the look on Merab's face when it hit him. Like he started backing up immediately, running the other direction. But at that point, I don't think Suge had enough energy to capitalize off it the way that he probably could have if he was fresh. If he would have landed that shit like in the first or second round, he probably would have won the fight. He'd have been able to capitalize and jump on Merab and make it an ugly fight. Because Merab was hurt. He was definitely hurt. He hurt him a couple times. He hit him with like two of them in the fifth round. I thought for a second that he was going to get him up out of there. But I don't think he had enough left in the gas tank after being wrestled for 5 fucking rounds at that point. So yeah, I think and it's not one of those matches where it's like, okay, I cannot see him ever beating Merab. Like I'm honest with myself. Like some fights you be like, yo, I don't give a fuck. They fight 25 times. Like this nigga's gonna win all of them. I didn't get that feeling at all. I just thought like Suge needs to make certain adjustments. I thought his takedown defense got better as the fight wore on, but like I said, at that point it didn't even matter. Like Merab was in cruise control, and like there was nothing that was going to break that. But overall, man, I thought Suge, he did okay, man. He did okay. It's just certain things that he needs to tweak, because anybody who watches MMA and knows the UFC, like we watch this shit for real, right? You weren't surprised to see Merab mauling Sean O'Malley. Like you're just not surprised because we've seen Merab do it, and this nigga's on a 11 fight win streak now. So people acting like, oh, it's just, oh my god, like O'Malley is not as good as he thought. No, Merab is just that good, bro. I knew that coming into the fight. I just figured that Suge would snipe him. You know what I mean? Like he snipes everybody else. I just thought he would find an opening and capitalize off it. But Merab did a very good job in the game plan and the execution. So shout out to Merab, man, new 135 champion. But Suge will be back, man. Like he gonna get the belt again. I promise you. Like whether it's a rematch with Merab somewhere down the line or somebody else got the belt and he fighting for it again, but he gonna be a 2-time champion. Write it down. I wasn't wrong the first time when I said he was gonna win the fucking belt, and I'm not gonna be wrong this time. My boy will be back stronger and better than ever. And it's kind of good, man, that he could get that type of experience because he's never really been challenged. If you think about it, he's never really been challenged in the octagon before. Like the Cheeto loss was a fluke. This is really his first loss of his career. I know he says that a lot, but it's really true. Like the Cheeto shit was like he was injured. And he came back and avenged it in spectacular fashion, beat the shit out of Cheeto for 5 rounds. It kind of just proved the point. So last night was really his first time, like man on man, pause, like mano y mano type shit, like losing to a guy. Like he lost. He definitely fucking lost. And we'll see how he wears that. You know what I mean? And with the people that he has in his camp, I am 100% sure that this will only help, man. It will only help. It gives you things to work on in future matchups against guys like Merab or Merab himself. So I'm not really tripping. Merab just came out and executed, like I said. But I think, like I said, Shaw, I think Sugar, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Tim will get him back in the gym. He'll get readjusted. Hopefully he can fight like in December or January. He didn't take any damage. Like his face, there's nothing on his face. He actually did more damage to Merab's face than Merab did to him. He cut Merab open with an elbow in the 4th round. So yeah. But anyway, man, that was my preview of UFC Noche. Shout out to all the fighters. Great night, spectacular night. I want to see it again. I want to see the Sphere again, man. Like that was too crazy to just do one time. Now I could have did without all the videos in between the fights and all that. Like, all right, y'all drug it out. The main event didn't start to damn near 2:00. It was like 1:45 when them niggas was walking out, bro. Like, come on, man. Y'all niggas. I know it's Sunday now, early Sunday morning. Niggas ain't got to go to work and shit, but come on, bro. Niggas getting old too, B. Like niggas can't be staying up. Whatever. But yeah, man. Outside of that, man, spectacular night, man. I want to see him back in the Sphere again, even if it's just like one more time. Make it happen, Dana. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Fly Free Sports, UFC Noche recap, and I'm out.